Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. It is Friday evening at 7:30 on July 22nd, and this is Connie's Craft Along. So thank you so much for joining me. We have a few friends here on Zoom, and hopefully we have a few friends that might join us on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, give us a hello, let me know that you're here, and I will just see if I can find us there. Make sure. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're live. Not live from Hollywood, but live from the cottage anyway. So, alrighty. Friday. It's the weekend. Yay! Happy Friday. I like the weekend. I'm not sure why. I think I like the weekend because it's the weekend and we're supposed to like the weekend. But I didn't actually work a whole lot today. And so I will be working a whole lot tomorrow. But that's one of the joys of owning your own business, I guess, right? You can work when you want to work, and then you can have some time when you need some time. I had a girlfriend come to visit today, so that was really awesome. I haven't seen her. We tend to see each other only in the summer because we have cottages that are close together. And so I have not seen her yet this summer, and we're both like, oh my gosh, it's like more than halfway through July already, and this is the first time we've seen each other. So it was really nice to catch up with her. So anyway, let me put this down, swap out the spotlight here, and we can get started. I don't even know whether this will all fit into the picture or not, but I'll take things off as we go and show you. So hopefully we're going to do a one-sheet wonder tonight, which is a little bit different from what we've done at a lot of these craft alongs, but we have done one-sheet wonders at other times. And so we'll give it a go. So if you are not familiar with a one-sheet wonder, it's what it refers to as your designer series paper. So in this case, we have a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, and this is our one sheet, and we're going to cut it to make 4 cards. And there's all sorts of different ways you can cut designer series paper to make lots of cards, but the theory is you use one piece of designer series paper and you make a whole bunch of cards depending how you cut this. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So you need a piece of 6x6 designer series paper, and you will need a trimmer. And that was where, if you saw my email as opposed to the Facebook one, the usual stamps, ink, adhesive, embellishments, you will also need a trimmer because we have to cut the 6x6 piece. So hopefully you have your trimmer relatively handy. You will need 4 card bases. I have basic white thick for my card bases. You can use a color. Just pull something out of your designer series paper that will work and go for it. And you can use different ones if you want. They don't all have to be the same. I just grabbed white because I have them ready to go all the time. It was quick and easy. So, and I was using lots of color for the rest of my pieces. So I thought I would go easy on the color after that. And then you need 3 pieces of cardstock that are 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, hopefully everybody understood that my number in the brackets here was how many of those you needed. 3 of those. You need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Where do we go next? You need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. A piece of basic white or very vanilla. And if I ever just say basic white or and I forget to put on the very vanilla, this is usually for stamping or sentiments or that sort of thing. And the only reason I have them both on here is because some designer series paper, the background is very vanilla. So you're just pulling whatever color is in your patterned paper. So there's that. And then another piece of basic white or very vanilla that is 3 inches by 2 inches. 2 pieces of cardstock that are 5 1/4 by 4. And I've said that you could emboss them. That is optional, but certainly you are more than welcome to emboss them. I have embossed mine with the time-worn type 3D embossing folder. So it's sort of a random random pattern. It just puts a little bit of texture on the paper. So I like that one. Okay, and then you need some strips or shapes, punch shapes, die cut shapes, whatever you like, for sentiments. And I wasn't really sure exactly what I was going to do, so I've I cut every one of the different sizes of the hexagons, and I brought some strips. So we'll see where we go from there. Alrighty. So the first thing we want to do is cut our designer series paper. So I'm going to put all of these bits and pieces off to the side a little bit and bring in the designer series paper. And the first thing we're going to do, if you have a pattern, you want it facing you, so the top is up at the top, and you are going to go across 3 inches and cut your paper in half. Okay, and then you're going to take one of these and you're going to turn it 90 degrees, and you are going to cut it at 3 inches. So you're cutting it in half the other way. Okay, so you're going to have one of these, and we're just going to leave this at 3 by 3. And then the other 3 by 3, we are going to cut vertically at 1 inch. So we have 3 1-inch strips. Okay, and you're going to keep these together. Set them to the side. And then we have a piece that is 3 inches across the top and 6 inches. So we're just going to turn it the 90 degrees, and we are going to cut this piece at 4 inches. Okay, so now we have a piece that is 3 inches by 4 inches, and we have a piece that is 3 inches by 2 inches. Okay, and that's all the cutting we need to do for those. Okay, so where to begin? Where to begin? Let's start with some that will need some stamping. We need some sentiments, but these other 2 pieces of basic white, you don't have to, but my thought was to stamp images on these. Now, if you have a large sentiment that you want to put on there, you could do that. Or you could do a smaller sentiment and some little bits of image, or whatever you like. So I didn't really get a stamp set to stamp any pictures. I should grab something, shouldn't I? I did get sentiment stamps, but I didn't get anything for an image. So since I am using the Tea Boutique, this is the Tea Boutique 6 by 6 designer series paper, I will pull out the cup of tea stamp set and use it. That would seem to make sense, I guess, wouldn't it? And I think let's start with this guy. Okay, maybe I have some space. I wonder if this would work with coming out the top. could do that, couldn't I? Okay. So I think I had sort of planned some colors for this. I don't necessarily remember what they are right now. Oh, Starry Sky is the pieces. I might have blue greenery on this card. I'm going to stamp my cup with Sweet Sorbet. This Tea Boutique designer series paper is, it was in the new annual catalog. And the cool thing about it is that it has all 5 of the new in colors in the paper, which is really kind of cool. I did get my chamois out. Look to be wet, but here we go. Hopefully it's still wet because I forgot to do that. I'm going to put some greenery on this, but I'm going to make it blue because I don't want too many colors. Put this on here, and I don't want. So we do have masking paper that I could have cut this and properly masked it and everything, but it's just the stems of the this greenery that I don't want to go into my teacup. So I'm just putting one of my notes from what to gather there, because I kind of think that this is taller. I think this stamp is taller than my paper. Yes. Now I just need to line it up with my teacup though, which goes right about there. Cross your fingers, hope for the best. Good enough. Look at that. Now we have blue stems coming out of our teacup. Okay. And if you're not sure what you want for sentiments and things, you can always wait and stamp those after. But I think that I am going to stamp this on a strip right now. And if I'm putting the card together and it doesn't work, then I'll move over to plan B. Go on. We'll do. And for the other piece, so I cut some different backing pieces. I kind of need to know what color. Okay, so oh look, I have Starry Sky backing both of these. Okay, well, maybe we'll do a striped teacup on this one, just a teacup maybe. Maybe the teacup with a lemon wedge. That might work. Right? Okay. This. So the first piece that I stamped, it was square. This piece is not, but it doesn't matter whether you do it with your length across or up and down. You can put it on your card either direction. So go with whatever your stamp sort of dictates as far as which way would be better. Because my teacup, I don't think would fit the other way. And I'm going to put a parakeet party. I'm going to put Oh, a lime wedge. Do people put lime in their tea? I know they put lemon in their tea. It's just kind of a yellowy green. We'll go with it. Hey, we had blue leaves in the last one. We can have a green lemon in this one. Creative liberties, right? There we go. Little bits and pieces for decorating things in here. I think I will stop there. So unless you want a card without a sentiment on the front, you will need 4 sentiment pieces. So, uh-oh. I touched it and I knew it was too low. And now I think I might have it crooked. Yes, I do. So that didn't work well. Not in the camera here, but you know what I'm doing. I'm stamping a sentiment on a strip of cardstock. There we go. Looks like everybody's hard at work crafting anyway. So it's all good. Except I'm messing this up terribly. There we go. That one works. I think 1, 2, grab. I need to cut this, or I need a skinnier strip. We'll get to that in a moment. What else do I do? Oh, I have fresh freesia. I've kind of lost track of where I'm at with stuff. How about you ladies? Anybody else lost yet? Maybe we should start putting some stuff together so we can see what we're missing and what we want to add. I don't have enough sentiments, I know that, but I do have some stuff ready. So some of this is fairly self-explanatory. You know, obviously you just need to fold your card base and burnish it in the score line. And then, so this was my thought for the first part. The 3x3 designer series paper and the 3x3 basic white that we've stamped on. And then you have 2 squares of 3 1/4 square. Okay, so we're going to mount these onto here. And we're going to mount these onto here. They're very large. I wonder if they're too large. Yeah, we'll make it work. And then I have a sentiment that can go on here somewhere. Figure that one out. So these are going to, oh, we keep losing Bev. Oh, looks like you're losing me. What's it? My network bandwidth is low. Okay, but I think the last time this happened, you could still see my screen. Oh, and now it's big again. It's going to be one of those nights. Now, the other thing we could do is we could put this smaller one on. So the other two pieces of cardstock go with the 3x2 designer series paper and the 3x2 basic white that we stamped the other image on. So before I put anything onto cards, I'm going to mount these onto their layers, and then we can just do mix and match and play, and you can decide what you want with what. Oh, and I kind of think I forgot to, I wrote it down. I wrote it down in my directions, but I forgot a piece of cardstock for this guy. We may need to backtrack a little bit. Okay. I guess while we're here, we could mount these. So these three 1 inch by 3 inch strips, they mount on the 1 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch cardstock. Bev hasn't come back. Okay. Very concentrating on this work here. I don't know about you, but when I have long strips like this, I find it so much easier to put them on length, like long across. I don't know why, as opposed to up and down. It's how my eyes work or something. Don't ask me for logic. Just giving you a little tip in case it helps you get stuff centered and fitting. Now, at one point, I had kept these in the order that they were in, and they no longer are, but I don't know that it really matters because they are cut pretty much with a row of teacups down the 1 inch and nothing else. So there we go. Okay. So now we have those, and let me just check my notes here. We need one more piece of cardstock to go with this guy. Where is he? 4, 3 1/4, 2 1/4. Nope. Oh, 1 1/2 by 5 1/2. So a strip that will run down the whole card. Okay. So 1 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock that I neglected to tell you to cut. And I think I'm going to grab some parakeet party for it. So thankfully we have our trimmer handy. Hopefully you didn't move it too far out of the way. And go back and cut this at 1 1/2 wide and 5 1/2 long. Okay. grab my other card bases. Okay, so 4 card bases. Here was the original theory. Here's one suggestion. Okay, so we have 2 with backing. Oh, there's, let me just let her in. What does that say? Oops, there we go. Okay. So we have 2 with backing, and on one of these, you're probably going to want to, do your orientation landscape. And these 3 strips will go onto it. Okay. And then we have one of these, which will have this one in Bev. Just so you know, I missed on my original ingredients list. You need an additional strip of cardstock, 1.5 inches wide and 5.5 inches long.
Okay, I actually lost you for about 5 minutes because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we knew you were gone, but
yeah. Okay, so what was the one I need to cut, you said?
1.5 by 5.5.
Okay.
Theory here. I haven't stamped a sentiment for this one yet.
So is this still the first card?
Well, we mounted all of the, so I'm not sure, I don't remember where you cut out. So we stamped images on the 2 pieces of basic white.
Okay.
Right. And then we mounted all the pieces on their appropriate layers.
Okay, so those are already assembled?
Like 1/4 inch bigger.
Yeah, so they're already glued together?
These are all attached, yes. And now we're just kind of laying things out to see how we want to build our card. Originally, my thought was that the 2 3x3 squares would go together, but they're both very large. So you could put them both onto here. Is that in the picture? It's hard to get all 4 of these cards into the picture. With a sentiment. Maybe I'll just trim this guy up while we're trying to figure out what we want where. And then the other thought was that these would go together. Okay. Just need a couple more sentiments. Oh, when in doubt, go to your go-to greetings. Works for everything. And I think I'm going to use just a note. Like that. fit on there.
So the white cardstock, like the very vanilla where you did 3x3s, did you do two of each of those?
Not in the white.
Oh, okay.
Just one. That's the piece where we stamp the image.
Right. Okay. Oh, the other was the paper. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Oops. A few things out of the way there. That paper's very stamped on. Okay, I'm just going to add some little flowers here. So there is the kind of sort of on the, whoops, now we seem to have more room at the bottom. Go figure. Pull this all down. So there are the 4 cards. But as I say, you are more than welcome to mix and match your pieces. So I have the 2 squares on this one. You could do a square and a rectangle together and put this somehow or other add this, or do it. Could it go sideways better? Might go better sideways on this one. You could do it like that. So there's lots of things you can do with all these bits and pieces once you get them. And there are, of course, no rights or wrongs. It's whatever you like. I think I'm going to put this one together because I think this one's going to go this way for sure. And I would suggest that you want to pop up some of your pieces with dimensionals. Again, it's your choice. I'm going to put these 2 pieces on flat, but I am going to pop up my sentiment with dimensionals. So. See if my glue explodes all over again tonight. Last night, this was the bottle that just oozed everywhere. It was warmer last night, though. Maybe that was why. I don't know. It kind of went crazy on me. And now it seems like it's empty. I'm sitting here. Normally, when I do something that's just on a Facebook Live, I think I have to talk. I have to babble the whole way through. And then when we're on Zoom, I sort of wait for people to chit chat, but nobody's chit chatting. And now it's like, oh my gosh, there's a whole lot of quiet space. Everybody's very intent on their crafting. So, anyway, I'll give you the super exciting running commentary on what I'm doing. I'm now adding dimensionals to my strips. And if you want ribbon on any of these under, wrapped around a layer or anything, make sure you put that on before you stick it down. It's a lot easier than trying to funnel it in later. So there's something odd on my Facebook picture that I don't understand. But anyway, little tip when you're putting down things in threes, it's often, I find it easiest to put down the middle one first. And I'm going to try and get them evenly spaced side to side, but I'm going to change the heights so that I don't need to worry about getting everything lined up top to bottom as much. If they're definitely not lined up, then people don't think that you were trying to line them up. But if you start in the middle, you can make your gaps in between very similar. Some people start on the edge and then they center the middle one. That can work too. Either way, it's easier than going 1, 2, 3 generally. Okay, now I put these at different heights, but I don't think that works. I think maybe 2 different heights is about as many. So there's enough stick left in that, and I need to try to line this up this way. And a little lower. See, this is why it's so difficult to to do these. Why it's easier to make it different, because then there we go. Okay, hopefully there's enough stick left in that. I didn't move it too often. My dimensionals seem really high. I found that last night too. I don't know whether I have an extra thick sheet here. Looks pretty normal, but last night I was thinking they looked really high as well. I don't know if I want this popped up again. Normally I would pop this up as well. I think I will. I will be brave. I'll just pop it up some more. Okay, now my Facebook is doing weird things. So Karen, I put a picture of last night's card onto my personal Facebook page today, but I don't know whether that would come up in your feed at all. But I can find where I put that card and I can show it to you. Okay. So now I have to decide whether I'm going to do a big and a little, or whether I'm going to do too big and too smaller. Maybe I'll go with the original thought, which was the too big. And this goes with this. Maybe for this set, I'll do it this way. The next set can be different. So this is also a great way to make cards if you want to give someone a set of cards. So you could give them a set of 4 cards, and all the colors would be complementary. All the designer series paper would be the same, but each card would be different, and you could do different sentiments on it, or you could do the same sentiments. You could make them all thank you cards or birthday cards or whatever you like, and then you could just do some little packaging for it. We've done lots of boxes and things, and you could package it up and make a great gift for someone. And it's easy to do, and just start with one piece of designer series paper and all your coordinating colors. And if you mix and match your shapes, you can make a whole bunch of different ones, all from the same pieces. Yep. I have so many little bits of dimensional sitting around. All my edges. Start using them up. And of course, once you get your cards all together, you can embellish them any way you like. I haven't really thought about, haven't decided what I'm going to put onto these. I'll bling them up with something. And to think of whether there was any other exciting news since last night that I should share with you. Saw a girlfriend today. Exciting news.
When's your wedding coming up?
August 6th, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Ooh.
So, yes, my dress is in being hemmed, and it's almost finished. So she said I should be able to pick it up early next week, I think. And hopefully all is well, because she's already cut the material off, and but it was just being hemmed, and it's long. So, you know, if it's a little too long or a little shorter than I wanted, well, it is what it is at this point. So I will just go with it. And then everybody needs to cross their fingers for good weather on August the 6th, because this is an outdoor wedding. So. There's a tent for the reception part, but cross your fingers for nice weather anyway. I'd still like it to be a nice day. We will see what we get. There we go. 4 cards. They just need bling. The fun part. Get out my bucket of gems and see what we think. Oh, iridescent pearls. They're pretty. There's iridescent rhinestones as well. They are really. Yes. Well, they look good on camera. Do some of those, some of these, some of those, some of the whatevers. Let's see what else we have in here. I have in color stuff in here. Ooh, wrong colors, but these are the 2021? Yeah, 2021 to 2023 in color opal rounds. And these are beautiful. Well, they don't show up very well on camera though, do they? This is fresh freesia, so it's a light mauve. It doesn't look like a whole lot on camera, but anyway, these are lovely. But of course, I'm using the new in colors, not the old colors. So. And here's the in color gem. Some of those. We'll see.
I've never seen them.
So Connie, the 6x6 designer series paper, I see that we've used every single bit of that. The
yes.
The cardstock that is framing the designer series paper, have we used exactly an 8.5 by 11 sheet or not really?
No, because I use different colors, I'm not sure. So these 2 background pieces, if you did them in the same color, it would kind of eat up half a sheet, right? Because it's
right.
A full sheet of 8.5 by 11 makes 4. It would make 4 full card fronts, and these aren't quite. But that, for all intents and purposes, there's half a sheet, and then this is 3 1/4, so that would be 6 1/2. So I don't think we've. Oh, but then there's these too, and these. Oh, no, we've probably used a little bit more than a whole sheet.
Yeah, I use different colors too, different pieces. So I was just curious.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see what you could. You'd have to kind of draw it out to see the best way to cut. So you would have 5 and 5 3/4 by 8.5. Okay. Would be what you would have to work with for these layers. but there's a few, and then you would need white on top of that as well.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah,
But
but
it's really good. They all
works
look
out to
good.
Yeah, and what I like about it, as I say, is like this piece could have easily swapped out with this piece, and then you've got two different sizes and shapes and stuff going on. If whatever you wanted to stamp on here, if you had like a tall flower, then all of a sudden you're kind of this way. So you could have had one up and down and the other one across. Like these are both oriented the same direction, but they don't have to be, right? You could do one landscape and one portrait, and then it would be a whole different look again.
Right.
Yeah, lots of different things you can do with it. So but I just need to add a few. I need to add some bling. Come out, wherever you are. Okay, let me run this guy. Same guys, maybe. These gems look so different when you put them on purple or green. Same gems, different backgrounds. And I'm gonna put some of these pearls on this guy. No. And then maybe some in colors for this one. Blue or red? Maybe the sweet sorbet. The computer's making a lot of funky noises. I keep thinking I'm losing people, but looks like everybody's still here for now. There we go. Everybody is blinged. All in the picture. Okay. So does anybody need me to go over the 6x6 cutting sizes again? Or you got them okay?
It's more the cardstock that I got lost in, but I think it would be easy to figure it out.
Okay, yes, but so other than the 1.5 by 5.5 piece, it's all in the picture, right? If you go back to the picture, all the pieces are there. And really what it is everything's just a 1/4 inch bigger than your top layers. So this is a 3-inch square. This is a 3 1/4 inch square. Same here. And this is 3 by 2. So this is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. And these are 1 by 3. So the backing is 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. So, and then once you get everything mounted, you just play around with layouts and what you want where. Okay. So, gosh, I have a little bit of a mess going on here. I have stuff everywhere. And where is my mouse? There we go. Cool. I have kind of funny lighting going on in here too. I don't know what's up with the lighting tonight. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight, ladies. I hope you like your cards. I hope you like the layout and you use it to create all different cards and different patterns. So
yeah, it was a really good one. A very good
one.
Thanks, Connie.
Glad you liked it. You're very welcome. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. And we will see you probably sometime next week. Night, everyone.